Steps are nearing the end of their epic sellout reunion tour.
I still think there's life in the old girl.
Basically got a lottery ticket the second time round.
It's been about closure, it really has.
I mean, I never thought when we started this, this was us back together forever.
This has turned into something that we never thought it was going to.
It's been a roller coaster journey back to pop stardom.
I think that the toughest moment is opening the emotional door again on the past.
We've had a lot of tears and a lot of struggle to get where we are now.
I kind of feel like I'm in a world where I shouldn't be.
You know, there really were times where I thought, I'm not sure actually if we should be doing this.
But with the end in sight, they have to face the reality of life after the tour.
I think I probably do have trust issues from the past.
I honestly, in my heart, don't know what's next. You're saying you want the same as me, but does that mean you're committing, or aren't you?
We all love our lives, and it's hard to commit to this.
I don't really know where we go from here.
Are we doing steps, or are we taking time out? What is going on?
Sometimes you don't get what you want.
Are you in? Are you out?
If somebody turns around at the end of the tour and goes, "See you guys," then I probably won't be friends with them ever again.
This is Steps on the Road Again. Over the last few months, we've followed the emotional journey of Lisa, Faye, Lee, Claire and H as they've come together to reform 90s pop phenomenon Steps. They've had to contend with the physical demands of being a band again after a 10-year break and produce a slick show that wows their fans.
You get up and you don't feel so bad, then you get on the bus and travel for hours and just don't feel like I've got the energy to do the show.
But with the trappings of fame, once again they've found themselves back in the limelight and under the constant scrutiny of the press.
Nowadays, would you do text message or...
The fact that everyone wants a piece of you or thinks that they're allowed to have a piece of you is slightly daunting.
I think that's a really cruel and a wrong way of portraying us.
Represented, isn't
I
it?
don't enjoy that side of it. You know, I don't feel that I kind of really want to be doing that anymore.
This I take to heart.
I just don't know why they won't leave me alone.
The Steps tour has already been a huge success. The band have travelled over 2,000 miles and played in 14 different cities.
Hello, Manchester! Hello,
And their 15 gigs so far culminated in 2 sellout nights at London's O2 Arena.
Cause you're taking my love where you are. When I want the sorrow, ain't it too bad about us?
But with the finish line in sight, and despite the success of the tour, the future of the group has still not been decided.
The future really is going to be the telltale signs of where people's heads are really at.
We don't know if there's a future for Steps in today's music industry.
I think I'll always have the feeling at the back of my head that I'm not in control of when Steps will finish.
However, despite their mixed emotions, the juggernaut that is Steps continues to roll on unabated. There's talk of a new record.
We've talked about this a little bit and maybe a Christmas album.
I think that's a great idea.
Are we all suggest to releasing something then?
If we make the wrong move, then that's it over.
And the fans are sure that Steps have a future.
We love Steps!
The group are firmly back in the nation's hearts.
It's just exceeded all of our expectations.
Really is amazing. Thank you so much.
It's overwhelming, it really is.
Just turned into this monster that nobody can stop again.
All around them, businesses are flocking to associate themselves with brand Steps. Manager Stephen is keen to give them a taste of what the future could hold if they decide to carry on, so he set up a meeting with a perfume company.
I'm sure we all have our opinions on celebrity fragrances, and some of them good, some of them bad. I mean, there's some huge success stories. The Britney Spears, her fragrances have done phenomenally well.
Do they have input to their products?
The bigger the artist, maybe the less of their involvement. We absolutely want to get you guys involved. We've got to take all 5 of you, mix you up together and put you in a bottle, which is going to be a challenge. So we've got to...
It's so exciting.
The colour, the look.
Exactly. Our goal will be to get you into the top 10 fragrances. So we want to make sure we have a good product. If people are at worst ambivalent towards you, they actually really still like your smell or your look, and that's the secret. Like I say, the issue we've got is that there have been some spectacular flops. I guess the first step would be to show you where we're thinking from a branding point of view.
Oh my God, this is so exciting.
Okay.
Really exciting.
Obviously, rather than just...
It does really open your eyes up to all the possibilities, and it just reminds me how lucky we are to be having these opportunities.
I think people will see the Steps logo and think of the group rather than think of an individual person. Call it #1 because we had a #1 album and top-selling tour. They like that idea.
I've got to say, I never in a million years would have thought that Steps would bring out a fragrance. It kind of still makes me giggle.
Yeah, that's what I wear that. It's refreshes, and remember the sweet bracelets?
Yeah.
Fresh, fun and fruity is Steps anyway.
Yes.
We've tried to choose the right smell for our fans. I mean, we've giggled, stink like Steps, but...
Over the course of the tour, a clear division has arisen between those who desperately want it to continue and those who are less sure. Both Lee and Faye see the massive potential of Steps second time round.
Hope that, you know, maybe some of the other guys see that, you know, having a taste of this will want to spur them on to do some more stuff. It would just be absolutely stupid to give this all up because you don't think that taking a risk will work.
I'd rather take the risk and it doesn't work than not take the risk and not know.
But for Claire and Lisa, maintaining band life and a family has been a struggle that's led them to question their future commitments.
You know, we're all having to make sacrifices. It's very, very difficult for me being away from the family.
I can't do it because I'm just going to get upset. It's just hard because my family aren't here, obviously.
I really want to get to a point in my career where I have managed almost the perfect balance with family and work. You know, whether that includes Steps or not, I don't know.
Can I change your nappy?
You've got to snatch a couple of minutes here, a few minutes there, before you go off to do something else.
It's kind of, I don't know if what's worse actually.
There aren't any long block periods of time where you can spend with them, is it?
It's not easy. And it's not an ideal life for it to be long term.
I feel enormously guilty.
H has also had to deal with personal problems. He's been trying to start a family of his own that so far has been incredibly difficult. He recently received devastating news that the baby he and his partner Craig were trying for through a surrogate had been lost.
It's really strange because it's kind of something that I never had, but I knew I was having. It's just a very empty, weird feeling. It's hard enough going on stage and pretending that you're happy, but when you're singing the songs that are really not so happy, you know, that cuts really deep, that cuts like a knife.
Coming up, as the ultimate tour nears the end, tensions are fraying on the tour bus.
Maybe we need a bit of space from children, whatever it may be.
Things could have been spoken about or dealt with slightly differently.
The final performance is in sight.
I'm not doing it, I'm going home.
But will the 20th show be their last?
Are you in? Are you out?
Steps have been travelling the country on their most ambitious tour to date. Playing 14 cities in just 3 weeks, they've pushed themselves to the limits, culminating in their biggest ever gig at London's O2.
Originally it was the end of the tour, and it would have been a perfect end to the tour because it was the biggest thing.
Oh my goodness! We just did the O2!
But we sold out, we've got more tours.
With just a couple of days respite seeing friends and family, they're back to a punishing schedule, revisiting some sellout arenas from earlier in the tour.
Newcastle, Scotland, Birmingham, Sheffield. It's just great that the fans want it.
After just a few days back on the road, the band are dealing with the monotony of touring.
Yeah, you have to try and keep the energy going, don't you, for the final remaining dates, and everybody's tired. It does feel a bit like Groundhog Day.
The tour